He-Man, and some Masters of some Universes. Yes, it's 80s toy time again, or more specifically, fake 80s toys from the fake 80s. No, wait, the real 80s, but the toys... Oh, good God, I don't even know anymore. This is one of my favourite things. I do love 80s toys, and I very much loved He-Man back in the day. If you've never seen the He-Man cartoon, it was basically about somebody who takes his shirt off and nobody recognises him. There was more to the plot than that, but that's not relevant to what we're doing today. Right, quick reminder of what a real He-Man figure looked like with old Zodak, the Cosmic Enforcer, who is very kindly taking off from enforcing cosmics to come here and help us out. You'll notice one hand sort of bent into the position for holding a weapon, and yet inexplicably with a thumb up, so it just looks like he's going for a lift the whole time. One more open hand, either clawed or not, depending on whether they were... Well, I was going to say whether they were human or not, but it's probably more to do with how often they actually clip their fingernails. It's very small and incredibly muscly legs, with sort of tiny proportions as compared to the rest of the body, and basically a whole 70s bodybuilder with hairy back thing going on. Thanks, Zodak. Don't forget to write. He never remembers. And, of course, we'll just quickly show the absolute king of all rip-off He-Man figures, the Internet Troll. Spring. Ah, that face. Can't get enough of that face. This remains one of my favourite eBay finds ever. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. I don't know why I just did that. Anyway, what do you think, Internet Troll? Fake and gay. Yes, he really is an Internet Troll. Right, let's start looking at some new ones then, shall we? As we're already 2 minutes in. First up... Ooh, interesting pattern on the legs there. Is it a jester? I don't know, because the whole thing is black apart from one leg which is red, which is interesting. I think this is one of the ones where they went less for the medieval Conan the Barbarian type thing and instead went for wrestlers, because of course they could use similar body types and it still makes sense. And this one does basically just appear to be Lord Farquaad from the first Shrek film, as portrayed by John Lithgow, at least voice-wise, I believe. Yeah, I don't really understand. Do you think perhaps this was a more medieval one? Because he's certainly got the haircut for it. The boots and the bendy legs are all a bit wrestly type. I don't know, you never know with this kind of thing, but it's clearly bloody Lord Farquaad. They really did manage to somehow look into the future and pull that character out. Right, what have we got going on? We've got the thumb, we've got the dodgy hand, we've got the other open hand, we've got little bendy legs. Yep, this is so He-Man rip-off, it's unbelievable. Don't look too smug, mate. The dragon eats you later. Right, next one up. Not quite as good, I'm afraid. From a leg point of view, it's all solid below the waist, bless him. That must be awkward when he goes out on dates. But the face has one of the creepiest expressions I've ever seen on a figure of this type. That's the noise I like to imagine he's making. Actually, I don't like to imagine he's making any noises. He's got a really weird sort of open mouth, open-eyed thing going on. I mean, some of these things have a sort of very blank expression or a thousand-yard stare going on. This is kind of the opposite. He's not quite with us, but because he's thinking of something, or he's been very surprised by something, or he's planning something. Also, his head's too bloody wide, and so is his neck, so it looks ridiculous. But at least they've vaguely matched the colour of the skin on the face to the colour of the body, I suppose. But yeah, again, clearly He-Man rip-off, and yeah... We've got the thumb, we've got the open hand, but it's a pity about the solid legs. A little bit cheap. It's sort of a dog's chew toy from the waist down, which is not a description anybody wants to hear of themselves. Next up, do you know, I think we're going to have a special introduction for this one. Ready? So, your guess is as good as mine, frankly. I'm going for perhaps Sad Onion, the wrestler. Couldn't find his mask, so just stuck a condom on his head. They accidentally killed him beforehand, so they've painted a vegetable, stuck it on his neck, and parading him around in a Weekend at Bernie's style. I really don't know. I think they were going for some sort of, full head mask stocking type thing, but we've got this weird ribbed effect. We've got... Goodness knows what's going on with the face paint. What the hell is that sort of weird geometry thing going on there? This mouth is far too high up. Is that even the mouth? I'm not even going to hazard a guess, actually, because we know we're going to be wrong. And, yeah, we've got this whole sort of peeled thing at the top. And it basically just looks like generic body number one with a frankly quite worrying head stuck in it. I don't know. Do you think, is this actually like a poorly made reference to an existing character from something? That's the only excuse I can think of somebody coming up with this. Either that or they couldn't mould another head in time, and this is like the foot off the bottom of one of their chairs or something, and they just tweaked the top a bit and sent him out. I don't know. I don't like him. He's got an inhuman head. A little bit of a Ku Klux Klan thing going on as well. Nope. We don't like you, I'm afraid. Look the other way, sad onion man. And actually, it's made no difference. You might as well look forward, mate. Right, let's go back now to an actual real He-Man figure, and I must say, a rather beautifully designed and made one, although it freaked me the fuck out when I was a kid. Presenting Rio Blast. He's from Rio, and he's a blast? I've got absolutely no idea. I think this was He-Man's attempt to strike back at things like Brave Star and Galaxy Rangers by having their own weird space cowboy with bad moustache thing going on. Right, you can probably guess from the blast thing, he's quite into shooting. He's got pipes up coming up into his arms. We'll have a look at those in a minute. But obviously, big backpack with big guns, pew, 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 and all that. Also got, as you probably noticed, these swing-out guns that come out of his wrist for a sort of a high noon action. This was slightly worrying, because it goes right through his hand, look. I don't know how he moves his fingers. I mean, there's no bones. It's just big-handed. Perhaps they're just stuck like that. Perhaps there are actually no hands, and he's just stuck these fingers on to make him feel better about himself. It's a tough life for a cyborg. It starts getting really weird when you pull the guns out of his thighs. How does he stand? Is there sort of a bit of bone at the back? Can he actually walk? And what are the guns? They just look like little red nothings, really. Like a very bad toy spaceship you get in Poundland or something. And needless to say, he's also got a completely hollowed out chest. Again, with slightly crappy little red guns in it. Almost looks like there should have been something to connect on, but I don't believe there was. This one's in quite good nick, actually. So there we are. There's Rio Blast, who apparently has been entirely hollowed out and filled with guns, which is a pretty weird thing. What does he put on one of those forms where it asks you for your racial background? Does he just scrawl, "Mostly guns, help me," in it? I don't know. It's kind of an Inspector Gadget for the psychotic. Oh, Rio Blast. Let's put all your stuff away, because it still freaks me out slightly, actually. There we are. Now we can see his beautiful porn star tash. I have come to fix the washing machine. Right. From cool but disturbing to frankly pathetically lame. At one stage, He-Man decided they needed a bit of transforming action going on. And what do kids like better than warriors who turn into lumps of rock? Well, the answer is apparently warriors that don't really turn into lumps of rock. Can you already see what this actually is? Yep. There's a hint if you haven't guessed. It's basically a figure that leans over and has rock on its back. I think they were just called rock people. Can't quite remember. This is one of the two named rock people, which I think were, wait for it, either Rock-On or Stone-Dar. Can't remember which one this is now. But there is one nice thing, actually, I'll show you quickly. Look at the quality of the sculpt on the face. Absolutely superb. I mean, really sort of realistic and miles ahead what they can normally do with He-Man stuff. I don't know if it's different plastic or something. But yeah, basically it's a really weird figure that can't kind of do anything, looks stupid no matter what you do with it, and, well, bends over into a piece of rock. I don't know, this is sort of at the point where He-Man stopped jumping the shark and started jumping up and down on the shark while shouting, "Jumpy, jumpy sharko, jumpy, jumpy sharko." Oh, dearie me. Poor old Stone-Dar, stroke Rock-On. I never did see the point. I can't remember what went in the chest either. He's got a big hole in there. Maybe they started to scoop him out so they can fit more guns in for Rio Blast. I've got no idea. Transform back into rock mode. So excited. Do you know what this reminds me of, actually? Do you remember that bit in Big with Tom Hanks where they show him a robot that transforms into a skyscraper and he says, "I don't get it"? This is that for me. What kid really wants a mooning Rockman? What does he do, fart at them whilst protecting himself? I don't know. Now, I think we need to end on a slightly more positive He-Man figure after that one, because I like my He-Man stuff, and we don't want to end on a dark note with them. Here's Leech from the Evil Horde, a very nicely built and designed figure. You've got this crazy mouth thing going on, which looks weird, but there's a reason for that. I'll show you in a moment. We've got actual suction cups in his hands, which suck a bit. Do you see why he's called Leech? He's got sort of feet which are supposed to look a bit suction cuppy but aren't. But here's the joy. Around the back we've got a button. Press it. And he spits a little bit of air out of his rubber gob. Why is that good? Well, because, of course, here we are. We shall use him to pick up a old video nasty that I got in Poundland. Ready? Stick. Press the button. Oh. Let me do it properly with the other hand. Yes, it actually pulls all the air out, creating a nice vacuum and an incredibly tight seal that still works perfectly after all these years. I want all my DVDs delivered to me like this in the future. Ah, that noise. What a great action feature, something that really genuinely does something, and it's great because you could stick it to the window and really piss off your mum when she wanted to go and clean them. Anyway, that's enough He-Man for today. At the end of each He-Man episode, of course, they would give you a little moral to go away with to enrich your life and stop treating other people so badly or something. Quickly, internet troll, give us a lesson about the world. First! 1111111 exclamation 111. Fucking hell.
Don't try keeping secrets from the night.
Today we learned about the importance of taking drugs. And one of the wonderful things about drugs is that they allow you to choose whatever kind of adventure you like. You can find drugs at your school or neighborhood library. Anytime you take drugs from your minister or rabbi, you're taking a very big chance. Until next time, this is He-Man wishing you good health and good drugs. Drugs.